Hello everyone, hello everyone. It seems like the game doesn't load anymore because the 2.1 is out. And there is no updates for the mods yet. But is it going to stop us? No. It is not. I'm just going to go ahead and update the Factorio version for 2.1. This is 2.1, but I need to make sure that the mods work. What is this mod? This is the visible trains, and then I will update the ramping science costs too. There's also the stats GUI. I would imagine they just need to update the version too, right? Maybe. Also Burn and Gladrich Rock and John Anderson, right? Yeah, so the visible trains still work, as you can see here. Visible trains. That's the mod that I made. So that I can see the trains. I should update the screenshot maybe on the mod portal and maybe make a better icon. So this, oh wait, yes, this works. And then, so then I just do update for 2.1. Is there something about a tag in the lazy git? No, git tag, push tag. Okay, this is going to update this on the mod portal too, and then I need to go to this one, technology ramp up. I imagine this also does not need to be updated. I saw that there were a bunch of updates to the thing, but to the Lua API, but I imagine this one should not really be updated. So I just changed Factorio version here for 2.1 and that's it. You can add some cool features to it, like showing the most common item in the cargo. That's literally what's happening, yes. Stream is down? No, I think stream is going still, right? Is the stream down? No, it's not. Alright, 2.1. This one is not even done by Git. Okay. Let's try again. So I just need to disable the stats GUI. And I need to update the visible trains. Maybe. Checking for updates. Wait, hold on. My visible trains were not updated automatically. Why not? Factorio visible trains. It was successfully pushed to the mod portal, right? Mods Factorio.com. Visible trains, there we go. The last updated mod. Two point one. Does it take time for it to be updated here? Two point one has been out for several minutes. I thought it's already like at least an hour, no? Since 2.1. Should be immediate. Why do I not see it then? Oh wait, look, it says even 0.3.2 here, right? And I can click update. Is this a bug? Soulburn. Because all mods are up to date, but I can click update on the visible trains. Because I have 030 installed. This looks like a bug. Oh, and now it does it, by the way, after a minute. A little weird, but okay. Okay, so I update this, and I disable Stats GUI and Factorio library, because that has not been updated yet. Confirm. So, the biggest change to 2.1, can I see the blog, or... it's not in the blog, right? It's on the forum. Releases. I think the biggest one is technology. Moved solar system edge space location unlocked to a new separate technology, which might change my my science multipliers a little bit. Migrated content. Molten iron into iron old melting. Okay, this is just the renamed recipes, right? Sure. Okay, so yeah, the visible trains work. The let's check the technologies. So this is 28,000. This one is 19,000. Is that the same as we had before? There is a landing pad car unloading bay, so that's the new tech. Anything changed before? I don't. This looks the same. There is new icons for automation. Looks a little weird. I'm not used to it yet. Okay. Let's see. Prometheum science spec. So like we have it set up, the mod, so that the so that the 1,000 times science multiplier is there on the Prometheum science spec, and it was changed, and the cost is changed from 2,000 to 1,000, because I guess this one is 1,000 and this one is 1,000, right? And this means that we are like we have a maximum depth of one more. Is that what it means? I think that's what it means, right? We have a maximum depth of one more. Also, it seems like they like reused the icon for the solar system edge, and it's not HD as all of the other icons. Icon is a placeholder, of course, of course. It's not a real release yet, right? 2.1. It's just experimental. So I think so what do I do about this? Let's check some other technologies though. I might just need to change the final technology from being Prometheum science spec to being the solar system edge, right? So that basically this one is also going to be 1 million instead of 800,000, because it also shifts the technology cost on the other things. Like artillery. How much was artillery? Artillery was like 192 maybe, and now it's 184. Basically everything is a little bit cheaper than it was before, I think. Circuits got interesting. Red, green for input and output. Yeah. I actually I remember saying that this is literally what I want. At some point in the future, in the past, pretty long time ago. Didn't expect them to actually implement it. So let's see if I change the settings, mod settings of the startup of the final technology. I need to, I guess, exit the game. Settings. So final technology. What is it called now? Is the wiki updated already? Solar System Edge. How do I figure out what's the debug name of the research? Can I do it with the debug hover info? Show debug info in tooltips. Yes, it does say it then. Okay, Solar System Edge. So this one is called Stellar Discovery Solar System Edge. Let's try it. Stellar Discovery Solar System Edge. Confirm. There's a prototype explorer. What's a prototype explorer? Is that a separate website? Prototype docs? This one? Something in game that lets you see existing prototypes? Oh, is there such a thing? That would be nice. Settings have been changed. Yes, load. Control Shift F and Control Shift E inside the game. Interesting. Control Shift E prototypes. Yeah. Okay. So I can see all of the items in the game, right? And this gives me all of their properties. That is nice. Thank you for telling me. We're hacking now, yeah. Okay, so now that I upgraded my final technology to the Solar System Edge, this one is costing 1 million, and everything past that is also having a 1000x multiplier, right? So this is also 1 million. The Cover X, I think Cover X was 31k, and this one was 21k, and this one was 6,000. So this basically brings the technology costs back to what it was. And I guess this is the only one which is actually required to do the to win the game. So this is supposed to be my final tech, right? Anyway. So artillery is supposed to be, oh yeah, 214. Yeah, that's the number. Right. Yeah, I think this is now working correctly. The only thing that I'm missing is the stats GUI. I imagine they will update very fast, right? Okay, so we just play the game now. I also was trying to make the better performance for my drawing rails over here. Let me show you. It actually works, I think, better now. So there we go. We have the rails rendered, and it works better for performance because I'm not actually connecting every rail together, but I am instead connecting like the rails, skipping like 10 rails in between, which means that I still can play in 60 UPS. But yeah, I'm still kind of annoyed that they don't give you the API to draw lines behind the icons, behind the sprites. All of the lines are always on the fixed layer. Kind of annoying. But yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to use this one anyway, because once again I have the we have the drawing of the electricity lines, and they basically match my my rails. But they are also drawn on top of the sprites always. But I guess it's fine. Okay, so last time I set up the space times, and we can... No, it's not like automatically set up on Fulgora. I just delivered a bunch of ice, right? But I also set up the calcite to be delivered automatically from... semi-automatically from Vulcanus. So now on Novice I'm using all of the foundries. And it looks like right now, the thing that I don't have... I think it's actually the coal. Right? Let's take a look at coal. In the last 10 minutes. I'm mining coal at 500 per minute, but I'm using it at like 900 a minute. So I need a little bit more coal. That's why it's pinned right now. And let's just go ahead and do it. Hello, Big Wasp. I can also like go through the changelog, I guess, in 2.1. Anything like particular that was not mentioned in the fried effects? I know that there are a couple things like the like you cannot block the spawners anymore. And the shotguns are buffed. But I don't think anything that actually matters. I am, once again, a little bit disappointed that they didn't actually add something huge. But it's okay. Factorio PD is nicer. Yeah, Factorio PD is nicer. So we can pin it, and we can show unresearched like this. So it doesn't show me the Gleba stuff. Oh, it actually shows if something is researched or not by doing the red outline on it too. Wait, is it not red outline? It's red outline for these, but I guess it's red background. It's just for tiles. It only leaves the border. Yeah, that's nice. I probably actually want to not show researched. Hover over minimap and shift scroll. Map, tab, shift mouse wheel to zoom in and out. Yeah, that's nice. That is nice. Can I make on the minimap to have like the overlays which are supposed to be visible there? Like on the map view, I see the power lines, but on the minimap, I don't see anything. Alright, I'm just going to go and connect the whole bigger icon for train. This one? No, this one is my own mod. This is not Factorio 2.1. I will continue the save. Yes, I will continue the save. There is nothing really big in Factorio 2.1. It's basically only quality of life features. There is no real content that was added. A little bit of the balancing, which I don't think really matter, right? Like, they basically, like, the only balancing things that matters are for the people who use the cheaty strats, like the casinos, the space casinos, and blocking the spawners, for example. But I don't do that anyway, so it doesn't matter. The only thing that potentially could matter is the buff to the shotgun, but it would also only make the game easier. I'm not sure if the shotgun buff actually matters a lot, but I mean, we can try. I can try crafting the bullets here and see if I can kill the nests on foot now, because the shotgun does not slow you down anymore when you are shooting it. And they also increase the damage and shooting speed of it. So we can try. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and craft a little bit of the shotgun shells. They also made it cheaper, right? Let's see. Another thing that they did is they moved it to the military 3. Military 3 now unlocks the piercing shotgun shells in addition to the poison and slowdown. But the combat shotgun gets unlocked on the military 4. I'm wondering why they did not buff the cluster grenades, because this is the most useless item in the game, so if they were doing something already. Shoot gun. They forgot they exist. The developers forgot the clusters exist. Right. Makes sense. Okay. So how do you craft them again now? Just shotgun shells, steel, and copper. Do they also craft faster? Maybe not. I'll craft them in copper, iron, and steel is all I need, right? I'll place it somewhere where I have the beacons. Over here. Hold on, I'll look at it. Oh, the new graphics. They look scary now, like they are going to eat me. The assembly machines. Iron, copper. Copper, steel. What's happening here? Why do I have the alert? Because it says that I only have 1 hour of stone left. That's right. Okay, let's see. So it seems like I'm going to run out of stone before the other things. So that's another thing that I should pin. Sure, let's get that one. Did I not? Oh, yes. Instead of iron, I did to put the copper there. Let's see. So now we can like run and shoot at the same time, right? That's the new shotgun. Also, the shotgun shells, they now slow down the enemies. Is what I read. Right? Let's try on this nest here. Or on this one. I think with like a couple more damage upgrades, it's... I don't know. No, there is no way this is faster than the tank. It's better than it was. But not at this evolution level, probably. Yeah, see, they slow down the biters now, too. Alright, I'll take some of these anyway. Let's go back. Connect. I'll connect the coal first. Wait, what is this? This is also new. On the hover now, it shows me what are the science specs that are being used right now, right? I was not here before. We can now connect the labs to the wires. And we can set the research, read contents, read research cost, and read technology level. Nice. Wait, can you read... Wait, what can you read from there again? Read the science specs needed for the research, yes. Okay, good. So we can know if the science spec is needed. So we can stop the science on Gleba. And combined with actually the universe radars, we can send the signal directly to Gleba, whether Gleba should be producing or should not be producing the science. And, of course, the planet in the background. I already see an artifact over there. You see this little line over here in the texture? The texture is not stitched properly. Anyway. You probably don't notice it if you don't look there. Can I drop something that's not needed here? Maybe if I drop this, then the iron plate is going to be delivered for more space science. Yes. I don't think this needs a hub. The planet in the background doesn't match the planet you are on? Wait, what? Does it not? This is novice. I am a novice. This place platform is above novice. You have no water, right? Oh, right. Yeah. There's a single little oasis on my planet. That's right. Is there a little audio glitch too? Did you guys hear that? I read that some people had performance issues on Linux too, which is what I am running. So far, I don't notice any issues. There are performance and graphical glitches that some people reported. Wait, is it just me? The rails look different. Do you guys see this? This is more bright or something than before. Not on the ground though. The icon for it changed, right? Train limit 0 out of 1. What happens to my trains? Maybe it was just loading. Okay, it's coming. Probably just was loading. Alright. I did not get the conveyor belts. Do I use the blue ones at this point? How much do I have? I don't have that much. It's missing the gears. Yeah. I'll use the red. Why is my size PM 90 again? It is because of coal, right? Yeah. It's because of coal, I believe. Roboport. Robots, repair packs, storage tank, wall, turret, inserter. And I don't have much walls on me too. Good enough. Okay, station. I don't know. I'll do something like this, and it should be good enough. Beacon of efficiency. There was something about the beacons that I saw in the graphics changes. I don't know if I noticed anything. Maybe those icons were not drawn here before. Not sure. Wait, they put the coal into the fuel of this guy now. Not a big deal, I guess. Read stop train. Enable if he is not 0. It will put a little bit, but at least it's not like going to put too much there. I'm a train running on uncommon coal, yeah. Okay, that's the entire thing, right? For the coal. Next, I was running out of stone, so let's do that. I just need to get a little bit of the what? I want more modules, and I want more walls. Hello, modern skirt. More modules. Efficiency. Productivity 2, by the way. I've been crafting it. The rare ones. Some quality too. I will want more quality, actually. Maybe I don't need speed modules on me. Right now, at least. Get more quality. Let's check the science again to make sure that it's because of coal, right? Well, I mean, it is because it's the plastic, right? It's the blue science that is lacking. And this blue science is not working because this does not receive the plastic. That's right. Because there is literally no coal on this line. This is using 0.18. Yeah, if this is a full belt, then it would be fine. Let's also make sure that this over here is red, because I want one full belt here, one full belt there. A little bit of coal is also dropping down here. This is for the carbon. How much coal am I using for carbon, actually? For the space science. Let me disable the debug. Space science is 1 carbon for 5 science packs. 1 carbon is 2 coal. 2 coal for 5 science packs. Yeah, it's probably not much. That I need there. Additions. Okay. Maybe I will connect another coal immediately. But I just first make sure that the stone doesn't run out. Why am I doing that much stone though? Because I'm buffering the military science. Oh yeah, the military science also is eating a lot of coal probably, right? Yeah. Yeah, for the grenades and stuff. Yeah. Uh, and the walls would be eating all of the stone too. So how much stone am I actually using, right? Coal should be more than enough for now, I think. Stone, I'm mining 1,000. I'm using. I can use 1.4. Okay, so just another station is all that I need. But I was speaking about the modules, tier 2 modules. There they are. Let me pin it because I want to upgrade maybe my labs to rare productivity module 2s too, and maybe like the other things. Maybe I should use the uncommon resources to craft also a bunch of productivity too. Like if there is something to use that quality stuff on, that maybe the modules is the correct thing to spend the resources. Okay, stone jump down below here. Kartoffel. Hello, hello. Okay, I don't need quality stone, just efficiency modules. Is all that we need. Okay, here's my stone. Resources, I can make this go back. So this tells me that uranium ore is going to run out in 3 hours, copper ore in 6, iron in 19. Iron was the last thing that was connecting last stream, so yeah. Uranium is already pinned. Copper. Maybe I should pin that too eventually. Okay, it looks like this station in the middle of the path made a little bit of a traffic jam, but that's fine, that's fine. It's gonna be solved by itself. I don't need to do anything. Okay, so I just do uranium now, right? Because uranium, let's take a look. Right, I've been mining. I don't know, it feels like I'm not mining all the uranium that I have access to. I'm not using it all the time either. That's just because I have a full buffer of the bullets once again, right? Yeah. Basically. Wait, I'm actually using 120 uranium rounds per minute now? Really? No, that's in the last 10 minutes. And the last hour is just 80. It has been growing up, though, it seems, for some reason. What's the reason? Did I increase my SPM in the last 30 minutes or something? It's just the new outposts, right, that I connected with the iron. The last ones were over here. This one is not receiving the damage. This one is not even, like, mining. Because this one is not named. That's right. Iron ore load. There we go. I always forget to name my stations. I have 2 more. Yeah, this one, the coal, needs to be named coal, and the and this one needs to be called stone. Yeah, a small traffic jam, but it's going to be solved in a little bit. Time for 1+1 tracks. What's 1+1 track? I mean, this over here is a doubled track already. Over here, this is not doubled. But it's going to be sorted out. No, no, no. I don't need to improve anything. It's just that this train here with the bullets is just standing for too long, and this station is in the middle of everything. But the trains with bullets, they don't come that often. Unless it's an oil. The oil stations, they do pollute a lot because of the speed modules, so... yeah. Alright, let's just take care of the pinned uranium. Is there more uranium? Maybe I should do even more. And then one. Potentially. Wait, what is this? This thing is missing a pipe. Do you have a roboport? I do. Let's make it have a pipe. That destroyed all of my turrets here. Oh, these are a huge... Wait, what? Hold on. This is going to die over here, right? Because this is not covered by the turrets. Something is about to die. Maybe? No. They go for the turrets. Everything is good. Let's just do more here. Let's just do more. And some walls too. And the train died, of course. So we'll want to fix that. This is maybe a little bit too close. Let's go kill it. I've been killing expansions in that place for a long time. The biggest issue is just that the rail track is outside of the wall of the turrets, which leads to biters killing the trains. I think this over here is the biggest expansion that I have ever seen. This is an expansion. That's not a nest from the beginning of the game, right? Yeah, there are behemoths there. Not that hot outside today. I don't know, I think it's pretty hot for us here. I ran out of the cannon shells. Okay, SPM was going up there for a little bit and then it went down again. Is it the blue signs again? It is. Is it the plastic? Looks like the plastic is kind of okay now. The blue signs is all working. Wait, the new refinery? You guys see the new refinery? Why is it pink? And another train died, of course. An iron ore train. And this one is pretty far away, by the way. Did not expect the trains to be dying over here. A stone train and an iron train died. Okay, I need a locomotive and a cargo wagon. Okay. Is that the time for the elevated rails already? They die way too often, I think, at this point. My trains, I actually need to do something about it, finally. Another train. Oh, yes, of course. It's the same place. That was a stone train. That they killed fully. That one is still there. Locomotives. Just need green chips. More engines. And another locomotive. Don't butters love eating the rail supports, though, do they? Well, I mean, at least that's not a train. What is this? Wait, hold on. Did they change something in Factorio 2.1? This is another, like, expansion, I guess. And it looks like it's bigger, maybe, than the other expansions that I've seen before. Is it not? And a stone train. they killed. It may be the thing that this setting for the increased sizes of expansions was not actually taken into account in Factorio 2, and in 2.1 they fixed it. Is that what happened? Is this also an expansion, which is also bigger than what we had before? I don't know. Maybe I'm imagining it. I have the elevated rail supports already on me. I guess we will see if they love eating it or not in a bit. Updated? Yes, I updated. I'm playing 2.1. That's another locomotive that died. I think I will first kill the expansions off, though, so that I have a little bit of the easier time. Like, even if I don't kill them, my turrets are not... Maybe this is not enough turrets. That's what's the real problem is. Wait, is that what I need to kill? Yes. Reward enemy expansion planner to reduce the expansions in already infested areas. Oh, maybe that actually matters, right? Yeah, maybe, like... Maybe what they were doing before is they were expanding into, so, like, a single biter is turning into a nest or a worm, right? And so multiple biters were trying to be converting into the same nest, basically, which resulted in smaller expansions. Right? Maybe. Okay. And this leads to me having more problems with biters. Okay. I like that. But it also means that the other people will have more problems with the expansions. Potentially. I guess it doesn't, like, really matter if the expansion is, like, on your edge. It doesn't matter if it's a big expansion or a small one. Just killing them is a little bit more difficult. But I think for me, a small expansion would be creating less attacks, actually. Because there is a limit of how quickly the nest is absorbing the pollution. So a bigger nest means more attacks, actually, I think. Especially because I'm doing the minimum attack cost. Another train died. Over there. Like, okay, there definitely something changed in Factorio 2.1. Definitely. Oh, wait, or maybe like... Or maybe these, like, groups that are killing my... My trains, they are not even the attack groups, but the expansion groups? Probably not, though, right? I'm out of power. Wait, an oil refinery died? How are they inside my base? Hold on. What happened there? I have a turret. Don't I? Time to panic? Okay. Yeah, everyone panic. We start from scratch, actually. Factorio 2.1 came out. We just get rid of the 100-hour playtime here and start this challenge from scratch, right? Literally in the middle of the base. How did they go through? Oh, wait, there is actually no turrets here. They literally found the only unprotected area. I'm surprised this did not happen before. I guess. Are these attack groups also bigger? This one's probably not. Wait, why is there so many biters? That's not normal. Over here. Right? That's definitely not normal. Did they change something? What is this? Here's another question. Wait a second. Here's another question. Why are all of these biters moving? These all biters were previously stationary. You know why? Because this is supposed to be an inactive chunk. Wait a second. Are the biters moving when I'm looking at them now? Remote view will activate chunks. Yeah. Okay. I figured. Okay. That's okay. I like that. I guess seeing the things being inactive. Was a little weird, maybe. But it does mean that, like, sometimes I kind of really want the like I was relying for my trains to be safe sometimes because the biters were not moving on top of their tracks. I don't rely on it that much on this playthrough, if at all, but I was doing that in my other one. And there is another expansion here already. Can we see the candidate chunks? Wait a second, hold on. So you're telling me that in Factorio 2.1, there is not even a reduced chance of them expanding near. There is literally zero chance. So there is now only the green candidate chunks. That's it. So I'm screwed. Because every 4 minutes, a new huge expansion is going to appear over here. Right? Unless I actually surround my pollution cloud with the things. That's a massive change for Death Walls and 1000X. Yeah. Maybe they were watching the Michael Hendricks playing 1000X and like, okay, we need to nerf that strategy, right? Of them. Doing the things. It's not me. I was not relying on it that much. I was actually killing the biters in my 1000X. And I was also, I mean, I was blocking the spawners, right? But if I was to do 1000X again, I would be killing the nest instead. It's not, like, impossible to do 1000X without blocking spawners. But yeah, it means that the expansions are a lot more likely to expand into your base. A lot more likely. Which means that, like, if you play 1000X, instead of clearing, like, a certain territory, you need to clear twice as much, or maybe, like, even more than that. Right? You need to actually clear a lot. So I'm actually... Let's test this a little bit. What about the pipe strategy that people were doing? So if I build a pipe here... Wait! So you actually completely remove a thing from being expanded into by just building something in it. It also does not decrease the chance. It removes it altogether. Okay, so this means that the 1000X is back with piping the entire world. I should put 2.1 in the title. Sure. Weakest we're back in history. Yeah. I don't like piping the world though too much. I'd rather not. Yeah. But what do I do about it? How many things do I need to build? A couple. One of the issues with killing biters was infinite spawns are not reducing pollution. Killing biters, infinite spawns are not reducing pollution. Infinite spawns are not reducing pollution? I don't think that was ever a problem. Hazard concrete recycling. Hazard concrete recycling gives you 13% chance of a brick and 3% chance of an iron ore. Is that different? It was giving you concrete before, and now it's giving you this thing? Which is the same as the regular concrete, I guess. Yeah. So killing them doesn't even achieve anything. Right? Yeah. And as you can see, yes, the expansions are bigger. The expansions are bigger. That's another big change. They do eat all of my pollution, though, which is nice. Do I just build a new base and let them eat this one? It's also slow, like regular concrete recycling. That's gonna break a lot of Fulgura bases. Right. Hello, Supercuber. It was 0.64. Is that how long the time concrete was before? No, I think before you were recycling the hazard concrete. So like you want to basically delete the items. So what you were doing is you were not recycling the concrete. You were converting the concrete into hazard concrete because that's a very fast recipe and it's very fast and it was very fast to recycle, which meant that you could delete the excess concrete very fast. But now you cannot do that anymore, because it's a slow recycling thing. Wait, hold on. Hazard concrete recycling is 0.62 second. Concrete recycling is also 0.62. Or is that like is that slow actually? Maybe they sped up the recycling of concrete? I think they sped up the recycling of concrete, right? It was not under a second previously. I think recycling usually was like the same time it was taking to actually craft the item. Or maybe not. Or maybe they just sped up the recycling in general. It was a certain fraction of the time. It seems like it's 0.03 for all of the items. Which are crafted like in 0.5 seconds or something. Do you guys ever recycle your science? It takes 1 second. And this one takes 15 seconds. It was like 3 times faster. Is it supposed to be 3 times faster? I don't know. 1/16th of the crafting time. Okay. All right, let me think about this situation with the expansions. I mean, I can keep killing it, but like once again, at this stage of the evolution, which is basically almost 100%, the expansions happen every 4 minutes. They are going to be huge like that. And they are always going to happen inside of my base now, because of the change of the expansions and how they work. So one thing, yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering if the rails actually block the expansion altogether. If there's a nest here. Okay, here's another test. I want to do another test. Artillery time? Yeah. Let me just get it real quick. Artillery. It's just 200,000 metallurgic and all the other sciences. Here's a test that I want to do. Let me find a good place for it. No, actually looking at this one over here. This is the expansion chunks candidates from this one, right? It means that over here there is another expansion problem. By the way, that I don't see, that I was just killing the things there. Time for a big wall. Yeah, do you think it's a big wall that I need to do? I mean, I just upgrade all of the rails outside to the elevated rails instead. Not a big wall. But then, like, these attacks are going to be huge, is the problem. Like, because this is the pollution factory. Yeah, I was going to test that, like, having a building actually blocks the expansion through that building, but I don't think that's true because of these chunks that are here, which are coming from this expansion. It's just a little bit weird, right? You know, like I have this over here, right? Am I not supposed to have the candidate chunk for the expansion like over here? Maybe this is too many rails, which block, and this over here is already too far. Wait, hold on, but the distance of the expansion, 1, 2, 3, 4 chunks. 1, 2, 3, 4 chunks. Let me save the game. Exit. Load. Copy the map exchange string. Go back. Say new game. Import this thing. Because we have in the enemy. Yeah. They reset my settings. Because it was different, actually. I was increasing my maximum expansion candidate chunk distance to the maximum. Normal was 7 chunks, so now they only like travel at most to 5. I was setting it to 20. How much? Wait, hold on. How much the evolution factor affects the enemy expansion parties? They did this also works differently. So yeah, because there was the expansion group size minimum and maximum, which went from 4 to 20 by default, and then I was changing it from 20 to 50, right? So you actually have bigger expansions the longer the evolution goes. I like this, but I kind of want this to be, I mean, like for proper stuff, we want this to be even bigger. So how big do you think the expansion is going to be if I change this to the maximum? Do I start from scratch? Do you guys want to see this playthrough from beginning? Because they actually did change some things. Yes. Evolution. No enemies, peaceful mode, starting area. A little bit. Spoiling rate, diffusion, attack cost. This one is still the same. This thing is still the same. I mean, it's been 100 hours. It's going to take a while, though. Can I change the settings in the existing playthrough also? I don't know. I don't think it's worth replaying, but I'm kind of interested in these new settings of the expansions and how much is it affected. It affects my current save. The change, right? So they say the evolution group size factor is 4. That was the default, right? So what is then the actual size? So yeah, and if that is correct, then we're supposed to have 5 times bigger expansions right now, right? So if this is the size of the expansion party right now, this over here is my current expansion party. So this is supposed to be 5 times bigger at my current evolution factor if I change that setting. Which actually makes sense because, like, I was complaining the expansions were too small. Right? Let's take a look here. Maybe they also changed something. Reworked enemy expansion planner to reduce expansions in already infested areas. That's the only thing about the expansions. Right? No, they did this. Over here. Too, right? Added expansion. Evolution group size factor. That's right. Fixed expansion planner would consistently fail on Gleba. Let's take a look at this one. Gleba enemies fail to expand bases. That's in 2023. Fixed for 2.1. Did not fix like my thing that I was reporting, right? Your posts. Small egg rafts do not expand. That was a thing. I'm wondering if this was fixed or not. Shotguns no longer slow the player when shooting? Yeah. They are not good at my current evolution level, though. But they could be much better in the early game. Okay, so there is like actually a lot of things that I did not look at, maybe. Agricultural tower did not properly reserve inventory space when harvesting variable output plants. So that's the biggest change, the hidden change for those who play. I'm wondering how this change with the expansions actually, if it would affect any like of the players who are playing the non-challenge runs. I imagine it would, right? The bigger expansions, which become bigger with the evolution, seems like a big deal. Maybe. Fix that turret shooting speed did not work at higher speed depending on the turret animations. Turrets shoot faster now or something? I also saw that the Spidertron can work in patrol mode now or something, right? That I think is also a big one. I haven't played with a Spidertron in a while, though. Can you play mod Eon Full Gothra Discovered? I don't know. I mean, I don't want to abandon my playthrough too much, right? But yeah, how much am I actually interested in these changes to replay the 100 hours that I have already spent in this world? What do you guys think? Let's do a poll. Restart because 2.1. Yes. No. All right. Let me know what you think. I'm going to read through the changes a little bit more, see if I notice anything else. However you found most fun? I don't mind restarting. It's fine. Like, actually, like the early game is technically still more fun. So if I want to have more fun right now, I would restart. Late game is like, yeah. But at the same time, I kind of like it's 100 hours, right? It's a lot. Dragging electric poles onto ghost electric poles would leave them disconnected. I don't remember that happening, but it is fixed. Fast replacing underground belts by dragging, not place the belts correctly. Okay, smart belts potentially fixed. Maybe they're still broken. We'll see. Um, Signal tooltip clarity by showing which quality the signal is. Is it about the circuit signals? It's not about the train signals, right? Marking entity for deconstruction now pushes the fluids away. Dying vehicles will have the equipment in the ghost form. That's nice. Cannon shell range modifier was not being applied correctly. Cannon shell, is that the tank one? Non-explosive cannon shell plus 25% range modifier is not working. Oh wait, so am I actually now reaching further with my non-explosive cannon shells? So once again, the explosive cannon shells are even worse than the regular ones, right? 3 people said yes and 5 people said no. So far. Underground belts resulting from super force. A crash. Trains fail to track player kills. Okay, we can now properly track the kills by trains. Right? Dropping fishes to water is more resilient to low cursor stack item counts. What does that mean? When you have less than 5 fishes in your hand, you could not put them into water before? Something about that? Setting fluid filters on pipes would not actually do anything. Wait, you can set the fluid filters on pipes? Can you? I didn't know you can. Reverse alternative selection for deconstruction planner. What does that mean? Reverse alternative for deconstruction planner. Right click and drag to deconstruct with inverted filter. Oh, so instead of blacklist, instead of whitelist, you can blacklist. So this one, for example, is a deconstruction planner of the rail signals. If I do right click, then I delete everything but the rail signals. Okay. I never knew that there was a feature, but sure. Don't know if I need it. Do, 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 do. scripting, modding. So the expansion, evolution size factor, this change is listed in the modding section. And this one is also only saying that they reworked an expansion planner to reduce expansion in already infested areas. This does not mention the fact that expansions are bigger with higher evolution. But yeah. Can I just do a test on a new game? Here's the new game, right? The same thing. Do I go editor? So there's a thing on the edges of the explored territory. The things can expand there, but as soon as you explore a little further and the nest appears, then it deletes the chunk now. Maybe it was something like that before. They were just turning red. I'm just wondering if it means that, like, when you play without exploring the territory for a while, it would make a bunch of expansions on the edge of the map, and it would look a little like you would actually see the previously explored border when you finally do it, like it further. Can I save your current PTS as a scenario and just pick it up with 2.1? No, it works. No, it works. My game works with 2.1. The only reason I was considering the restart is because they actually changed the balancing pretty big. In terms of the expansions, I think it's a big change. So I'm just wondering how would the early game play out. Because it would play out differently. So I want to do what? I want to say time, right? And I want to... Oh my god. Let's do time, like this. Can I see the expansion happening? Am I going to see the blinking thing or not? The votes start over. Wait, what was the results of the votes? I don't see. Can I see the results of the previous thing? If you were starting over, you were going to make the oasis bigger? Yeah, the oasis bigger so that it's visible on the zoomed out map. Yeah. Am I not going to see the expansion? How? Come on, come on. How do you show the chunks? Factorio console show all chunks. Reveal all generated map. Right? So yeah. The big change is that they actually don't expand nearby at all, right? Like previously, this would be just red expansion candidate chunks, but now they actually don't exist. They don't even try to expand here anymore, right? One of the things that it means, right? Like in the far territories on my minimum resources when I'm going far, right? Um, there is a lot of small nests in the middle, which I need to like get around and clear. But now with this change, it means that there would be nothing there, and I would be always able to find a path with my train without killing anything. So like in a way, it makes the things easier, but in other ways, it makes the things harder because more of the expansions are going to go into like um into closer to your base, right? Is this an expansion? Movie mode somewhat easier. I don't know. Like I said, it's easier in one ways, it's more difficult in the other ways, right? But like I have a big problem right now on my save because the expansions are also bigger. That's a big change. The expansions are bigger because they scale with evolution factor, and they always expand into my base around the oasis where a lot of pollution is, which like I lost like 10 trains today or something already, maybe, which was not happening before 2.1. Let's see here. How do I set the evolution? Forces, enemy, edit evolution factor 1. Wait, what happened? Oh, I changed my force, so this is what I have. Oh, and this is okay. It's because I am in the editor plane as the enemy now, right? And these are the ranges of the turrets, which is the worms. Got it. Change back to the player. Okay. So yeah, I just want to see the expansions happening. Can I make it so that I actually see the entire map in the editor? Does player building still affect chunk selection? Yes. You can cheat by doing that, yes. There we go, an expansion over here. Yeah, and here's what the expansion size is. Now. Expansions are properly huge. Yeah. It still is spawning. There is still more of them. This also nerfs artillery. Yeah, it does nerf artillery a lot, I think. I think it's a lot, right? Because the amount of artillery shells that you would be using is now going to be like 10, 20 times bigger. So your existing factories might actually die because of that, because they're not prepared. Is this still going? I think this is though. Hold on, let me see. Is this where I was changing the settings or not? Yeah, this is 5 times bigger than on the default. So on the default, the evolution size factor is 4. So this is with the maximum evolution group size factor of 20. By default, it's 4 now. So it's a different setting here. Maybe if I do minimum cooldown 1 minute and maximum cooldown of 5 minutes like this. Evolution group size factor 20. Once again, like this. Because this way I'm going to see the expansions. Factorio, make all map visible in editor. You guys know if it's possible or not? Because I can only see the things in the editor which I am hovering on. As like the character in the editor or something. Editor is like annoying to use. But I don't know, maybe there is a better way. You added a modded radar, which is insanely huge. Let's see. Do the expressions get interrupted when you shell the biters making it? Do they? If they do, then maybe it's not going to change much indeed. You know what is going to you know what the expansions are going to matter more at Galeba, I guess. So like at Galeba, the expansions were also like really tiny before. My handy makes loaded map reveal all, but I don't remember how. Well, I mean, yeah, there is the force chart all like this, right? I guess if I make this command run all the time, then I will be able to see everything all the time. Is it going to like I guess if I turn the time back on, right? Yeah, if I turn the time back on... Wait, what? No, I can actually zoom into and see the things. Yeah, but not on the minimap view. I can zoom in and see the things, but not on the minimap view, which is annoying. If I chart all, then I see the minimap too. For a second. Okay, can I explore the chunks? Can I explore chunks with a command in a certain radius? I have already done that before, so I know that it's possible, but I don't remember. Reveal the map around the player. Radius is... Let's make it 10 times bigger. Wait, what? Oh, there you go. It just takes time. Bam, 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 bam. You can increase the map preview size to whatever you want. What's the map preview size? When you're creating a new game, you can change the preview size. Can you? I didn't know you can do that. Or you mean like the minimap? The minimap, yes. I know that. That you can zoom on it now. Okay, let's increase the speed. So the evolution size is right now just 1, right? But here is the new expansion. So this is the expansion size in the beginning of the game, which is just like a couple nests. Right? Just 5 nests. Just 6 nests, 7 nests. This one is a little bigger. And then as soon as we change the evolution factor to 100%, then the expansions start to become a little bigger. Right. Do I want to test the artillery? Why is there an expansion close to that expansion? This one? You think this was not supposed to happen here? These are too close, right? Like they're not supposed to expand over here. So how did that happen? Maybe they chose this chunk for expansion, and while the biters were coming here, another expansion was already like queued to be created over here, and that's how. So they chose this at the same time, yeah. So let's see. It also means that at some point they actually run out of the green chunks, and what happens then, right? Then they just stop expanding altogether, because previously they would still try to expand to like the very unlikely places, but now we actually get rid of the possibility of them to expand, right? Shouldn't take that long. You don't like that it creates perfect rectangles? I guess that's not what would be happening on the. This is increased size. This is 5 times bigger than on the default settings, right? But I guess even on the default settings, it would still be. I guess this one also is kind of like a square, right? Even although it's smaller. It's the same as like when when you spill your inventory, it creates a square and not a circle. Because it's just trying to find the closest place where there is no spawner or something, right? And or where there is no item. It's not chunk based, it's just like getting from the center, trying to find the place where the new entity should be created, right? So, and that works in a square. I should maybe not have revealed the full map like this. It's easier to understand if I revealed a little smaller amount. Let's actually just quit, start new. And come on, game. Reveal 500. Is 200 still not enough? 500? Yeah, maybe 500, sure. Yeah, see over here there were two blinking things. Next to each other. One of those actually did not even receive the nest. That's a lot of worms. Wait, why do they only spawn the worms here? Is that normal? Is that how RNG works? This time it's all worms? I don't know. Just RNG. It's like weird that the worms are all concentrated in the middle, like on this one, for example. And on this one, it's not like that. That's a lot of worms too. I don't know if that's different from what it was before or not. It's like some nests are like evenly distributed, and some nests they have the concentrated worms in the middle. Yeah, see, all the worms are in the middle. That cannot be an accident, right? Anyway, so like, this is what it looks like when they are now expanding the entire map. I guess there is like another setting which I did not change, was the minimum expansion candidate expansion distance. So the minimum expansion distance basically determines now the distance between the nests. But this over here technically is a big enough distance that I can go very far out without killing anything. You know what I mean? Like, I can go in between this nest and not aggro anything. Can you launch the game in previous version to compare? Let's see. We have two Factorios side to side. How does the far lens look like with the changes? Well, I mean, here's my actual save, right? Maybe we can reveal a little bit of the territory on this save. Let's play with the editor here. Right? So, like, you see how over here, a lot of these things are expansions, and these expansions would basically not exist because they are in already infested areas, right? So maybe if I reveal some new chunks here. Can you increase the movement speed? In the editor? Well, I mean, in this far away lens, there is... I need to like reveal more to actually see the comparison, right? Because the nests are pretty dense as is. You should reveal the game. You need to restart a new game. Okay, so this is the new territory, right? As you can see over here, there is no expansion chunks, and like I can go without fighting. I don't know, not everywhere, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, the far lands are pretty much maybe the same. The only difference is that there would actually be the expansions over here in Factorio 2, but in Factorio 2.1 they don't create it anymore. Let's do the new game in Factorio 2. Failed to import the exchange string because of the new settings that which don't exist. Well, I mean, I don't change any settings really, like, except for so the group sizes. These were my settings previously. Let's also do the cooldown like this. Reveal the map. What did we do? 500? And I do time. We can also change the evolution to the maximum, but it does not matter in this version, right? Expansion candidate chunks. There we go. So these are all the expansions. They are literally like 100 times smaller. I mean, some of them are still being created, maybe. But yeah. But they are a lot smaller. But they are closer together because they still spawn in the red chunks. What am I even doing this for? I don't know. I'm just delaying actually playing the game. But yeah, I think technically the late game, I mean not late game, but like once they have a once they have settled, going outside of this revealed territory without aggroing anyone is a lot harder than in Factorio 2.1 because they settle closer together, even although the nests are smaller. Is there a way to lower the exclusion zone for new bases in 2.1, right? So like, I guess you do the minimum expansion distance. This is the how many chunks from the edge, maybe, of the existing base they are not going to spawn the new bases, right? So if you say 1, which is the minimum, then you are going to do this. Enemy evolution time. So this is just one chunk edge around a nest, and then they can settle there. And in this case, we're going to actually see... Wait, hold on. And in this case, we're going to see the entire map filled by biters, right? Because every expansion is huge, right? I think it was like more than like 3x3 chunks. And they spawn at the edge of the existing chunks now. And it's going to be like literally a full... No, it's not. Why not, though? So this is that. Wait, hold on. So what does this setting actually mean? The minimum expansion distance is 1, but this over here is considered then the infested area. Why is this one considered infested? So this setting doesn't even change anything. Is this a bug? And they were... I don't know. I would expect them to try to expand here, right? They are more they're actually more spaced out now than before in the previous test. So if we actually do... Is that true? I don't know. If we actually do the enemy minimum expansion distance... Oh, wait. A value higher than 3 will disable some achievements. Yeah, because the higher value is supposed to be easier, right? Not the lower. Lower is supposed to be more difficult. Wait, why is it not showing me the enemy candidate chunks? Oh, right. Because they literally already cannot expand. Because the minimum distance is 20 chunks. So this is it. No, 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 no. I mean, is there even any expansion candidate chunks if you change this minimum like this? They literally cannot expand anywhere then? Can I kill them? Can I kill the nest with delete planner? The editor is annoying. I deleted a lot of nests here, right? What is 20 chunks? Oh wait, do the worms no longer prevent expansions? Wait, did the worms just despawn? Wait a second. Did I imagine it? Look, there is 3 worms here. Over here. There's only one worm left. Where's the other ones? Is this one also going to despawn? Do I need to look away from it? No. One worm is still left for some reason, but there was more. Oh, wait. Where was it here? Maybe it was over here. They still cannot expand at all. Is this more than 20 chunks? Is this less than 20 chunks? Child grid is not shown on the map view. But I would imagine that this distance is more than 20 chunks anyway, right? Like, so from this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5. This is 10. This is 20, right? So why would no one be able to expand here? Is it because the worms are actually blocking the expansions now? Because that was not the case in Factorio 2. Other side of Oasis? Yeah, but like... I mean, maybe this guy? I need to actually go there. Isn't there expansion probability? There is expansion candidate chunks which are enabled right now. But right now they cannot expand anywhere. I mean, this is the settings where the minimum expansion distance is 20. But maybe it's because the next have a hard-coded 7-chunk range to find a new chunk to settle in, but the game won't let them settle closer than 20 chunks away, so there will never be a valid chunks. But what about the chunks which are further away, right? Can I delete, like, can I delete all the enemies in range? Kill all enemies. Kill all nearby enemies. There we go. Kill all nearby enemies. So this gives me the a radius of 250. One chunk is what? 16, right? So I want 16 times 20 radius. 16 times 20 is what? 320, right? So if I kill everything in the radius of 500, surely there should be an expansion candidate chunk, but there is no expansion candidate chunks. Oh, wait, but the maximum expansion distance is also 20. Maybe it doesn't work because the minimum and maximum is the same thing. One is 32. Okay, so it's not... So I actually need to kill more then, right? Okay, let's do in 1,000 radius. I'm going to kill everything. There we go. And there is still no candidate chunks. So this setting does not work. I imagine, though, that maybe... it's because the minimum and the maximum is the same, right? So there is only supposed to be the chunks at the distance of exactly 20, right? But maybe their code is off by 1, and instead of less than, there's like less than or equal, which is supposed to be there. So if I do 19 and 20, is that going to change anything? To increase the actual speed of the game, because this increases the revealing of the chunks actually. Maybe expansion starts after playing a game for a few minutes. No. Like, they were expanding it with the settings which are like in the other direction, right? Okay, in 1,000 radius, kill everything. There we go. Yes. So 2020 doesn't work, but 1920 works, which means that minimum is actually the minimum. I mean, let's see the distance here, right? So this is the chunk. Let's show the tile grid, right? This chunk which I'm in right now, and then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 20, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Do, 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 do. And then 20, including the one with the nest, right? So this, okay, that is fine. So once again, if we go back to the minimum expansion to being like 1, this doesn't work, right? I mean, it works over here, though. Yeah. So you see, like, the minimum expansion chunk is 1, but this chunk is over here is 2 chunks away from this, right? So the minimum, it's not the minimum. It's the safe area around the nests where they are not going to be spawning in. That's the correct name for that setting. So 2020 means that they will never expand anywhere. Okay. So now the question is, why can they not? Why can they not expand over here, for example, right? Because this chunk over here is 3 chunks away from this nest, and it is 3 chunks away from this nest, which makes me think that something is wrong here, right? Like, you see, oh wait, hold on. Oh, wait a second. Over here, this is a single nest, and a single nest gives me a radius of 1. Over here, this is 2 nests, and they give me a radius of 2 chunks now. And this over here is 3 nests, and this gives me a radius of 1, 2, 3 chunks. So every nest is pushing the minimum distance further. Is that right? Look at this over here, right? This is this is in multiple chunks, but like, how would multiple chunks work also? Larger expansion size make them super far apart. Yeah, basically bigger expansions means more distance between expansions too. So yeah, it makes the game both easier and difficult at the same time, the bigger expansions. Maybe, yeah, maybe. Interesting. Per chunk, per number of nesting chunks. Maybe this is independent things. Maybe like the minimum expansion distance is still one, but this is like disabled because this is considered infested area, right? That's what they were telling in this infested areas. Infested area might be like a separate thing. So it's not multiplied by the minimum expansion distance. It's just considered the infested, the more enemy nests there are in the area, right? Can I spawn more nests? How do I spawn nests? Entities. Build as force enemy. A spawner. Oh my god, and I need to like actually go there. The editor. Why is the editor so annoying in Factorio? Let's go here. But there is a maximum thing still, right? It seems like 4 chunks. It seems like 4 chunks at most is considered infested. Okay, and what about the worms? I'm kind of wondering about the worms. Yo, chat, are you alive? My monitor with the chat went off. I don't see you anymore. What about the worms? Yeah, the worms still don't affect anything. Okay, it's back. Can I change surface here? Surface. Current surface, novice. Generate planets. Gleba. Let's go to Gleba. Radius 1500. Wait, what am I? What are the settings I'm playing in right now? The minimum one, right? Let's kill everything in 1000 radius. Okay, it's killing things. 1 second. The game needs to think. Okay, so there we go. Everything is dead. Let's see what happens on Gleba then. Did I not change yet the evolution factor? Gleba 1.0. Wait, didn't I just read in the changelog that they fixed the fact that the enemies don't expand? Look at this. They don't expand still. The Gleba is still buggy. Scammed. I mean, there was like one expansion that happened over here. And that's it so far. Right? I guess this one is another expansion. Oh, wait. This actually happened. Okay. Interesting. What are you testing? The new update? The expansions were changed. The way the expansions work. They are now bigger, the bigger your evolution factor is. This over here is on the maximum settings though, which is 5 times bigger than on default. But I mean, even if this was 5 times smaller, this is still a lot, right? I guess. Do small rafts do weird things? Okay, actually, how about I test this? Whether they whether they fixed or not the rafts. You do find entities filtered and you say something like name is what's a small egg raft called? Galaba spawner small. So I delete all the Galaba spawner small in a radius of 1,000. Right? Wait. No. I want to kill all the big spawners. I want to do the opposite. And this one is called Galaba spawner. Can I do it from scratch? I guess I renamed the string Factorio 2.1. Testing. We'll see if I go back to gaming. Planets. Generate planets. Glebum. Let's do 1,000 radius of the revealing. New start? I'm considering a new start, yes. I don't know. It's probably not really something that I should do, the new start, but I'm just wondering if I'm going to notice a change. Let me just test some things first. And one of the things that I want to know is if they fixed the small egg rafts not expanding. So how about that? So they absolutely don't expand. I mean, this is 600% gleba with increased water. So if I do now, kill all the spawners. Kill all the spawners in the radius of, let's say, 500. Right? So all we have is the small rafts. Let's kill all of them in the radius of 1,500. Sure. There's going to be no big rafts at all in this game. See? Only the small rafts. Right? Well, first of all, there is no candidate chunks now. So now they don't expand at all. Right? So if I kill the enemies which don't have to be the spawners in the radius of 500. Then they start wanting to expand, right? But all we have is the small rafts, right? Actually, I think it will work right now because of the existing pentapods. Can I kill all of the pentapods too? This one is called Small Stomper Pentapod. And I guess Small Strafer. Is that right? So that all I have is the small guys. Small regulars. Oh, wait. No. I don't even... Yeah. Small regulars are also going to die. Okay. Charge all. So all we have is small rafts, right? This is something that you can do in this game yourself by leaving the small rafts behind, by killing everything else. So we are supposed to have expansions here, but if I speed the game up, this expansion chunk is being chosen. It's being chosen. And it's still being chosen. And it's still being chosen. But the problem is, there is no enemies on the map. Because the small like rafts, they still don't actually spawn the enemies. Game is paused? No, it's not. Oh, wait, it is. But there is still no enemies, right? Yeah, there is still no enemies. Because the smaller graphs, they still don't spawn the enemies. Look at this. There is a spawn... Hold on. Even in the debug menu, it says spawning cooldown. But the spawning cooldown doesn't actually spawn anything. Wait, what? I just saw someone. Wait, they actually spawned something. Where did they come from? So it was fixed. Was it? Or is that from somewhere very far away? Because I only killed in the not a big enough radius? Like, why is that a stomper? Who created this raft? That's what I'm wondering. Maybe I just did not delete them far enough, actually. Let's try again. I'm going to delete all the Gleba spawners in the radius of 5,000. Small, regular, pentapod, small, strafer, small stomper. Okay, so now there is no more stompers in the radius of 5,000. Let's try again. I mean, the game is working right now, right? It's not paused. Where's the expansion? Or is the expansion chunks are not even blinking anymore? Am I not? Are they not even blinking anymore? Oh, I'm not on the... I'm on the normal speed, right? Yeah, but yeah, you can see over here, the spawning cooldown goes to the minimum, and then the small like graphs, they don't spawn any enemies. Even although it shows that it should spawn the enemies. Let's also create the pollution. How do I create the pollution? Add a lot of pollution. Let's add a lot of pollution over here. Right? Because they are supposed to spawn the enemies in as like a reaction to the pollution. But they actually don't. Oh, this pollution is going to reveal the new chunks though, which is going to actually result in the things. Right? Yeah, but the smaller graphs definitely don't spawn them as a reaction to pollution either. So this over here is this expansion candidate chunk. Let's see. Speed up the game. So this was not fixed. Right? Smalls don't spawn. I know. Block chunk expansion viability. Yes. So, like, I'm just wondering, like, it doesn't mean that it's even easier now to achieve this situation where your Gleba base is not even expanded into at all? Right? I'm just wondering how far do I need to kill the big ones so that I'm guessing like on the maximum expansion distance, right? Which right now is 20 chunks on these settings, which is why I still had expansions on my first test. But now there is actually no expansions happening. What if I reveal a little bit so that I still have the guys over here, right? Let's make sure that there is a path too. Okay, so there is a path for them to go from here to here, technically, right? Are they going to expand? So far, they did not. Oh, wait, they did expand. They did expand. So they can expand from anywhere on the map, right? The game just tries to find the existing biters. I mean, the existing enemies. This is not a biter, right? So even although this is more than 20 chunks away, the distance of the expansion only matters for the selection of the chunk. The actual enemies can come from any nest. Okay, that just also confirms my previous things that I have seen in my old bases, where even although I was not polluting any biters, they were still coming through my base. And the reason that was happening is because they were expanding. So like, let's say that this over here is my base, right? So they were expanding over here from down there. I'm pretty sure this is what happens in the game. Because the distance only matters for choosing the chunk. But choosing who expands into the chunk is done somehow differently. Maybe just a random group from anywhere in the world. I don't know. Okay, but let's say that over here, right, they now have expanded into everywhere. I mean, I guess, like, controlling your pollution cloud and making it really small on Gleba is not really viable, though, right? But these are big nests. If it was 5 times smaller, it would still be like this. Maybe. Let's actually see the default settings. Let's do literally default settings. Just a cooldown on the expansion. So this is what default settings look like. That's in the early game. Let's also make sure that it is the maximum evolution. Okay, so this is the expansion on the maximum evolution. This over here. It is still much bigger than it was previously. Right? Planet. Glibam. Let's see the glib on default settings. Over here, the expansion. Are they not coming? There you go. It's not that big. Sometimes they still like choose the chunk and they don't come here. Unless they're coming from very far away right now. This chunk over here, right? No path. There's probably like a maximum distance from which it can like choose the guys to expand, so maybe you can force then by cleaning the big nest in a certain distance. This one was just chosen again from scratch, which is why this time they actually did make an expansion. Alright, no, the default settings, Gleba, even on maximum evolution, is still like very, very small. Which is weird, right? Because this does not look like 5 times smaller. It looks like 10 times smaller or 20 times smaller. Or maybe it just looked like that. Because on every nest, They have like, they need to have like an enemy nearby. The enemies themselves, they are bigger than the nests. That's why it looked like it, maybe. Do 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 do. Boom, ba-da-doom. All right. Anyway, what should we do? What should we do? With this playthrough. So, Factorio 2.1. Factorio 2.1. And I think, yeah, it reset some of my settings. This is the annoying part, is that it changed my settings basically because the settings were changed, and it reset some of them to default, like the expansion sizes and distances. What are the options? We can start from scratch, just so that it's a pure 2.1 playthrough instead of like fixing this one, you know. Yeah, I can continue and change the defenses a little bit, but I feel like this should be like, I want to test it with like even more difficult settings. I can edit the save to change the settings technically, right? If I edit the files or something. That's another option that we can do. But also just to try the early game is why I'm also tempted to do a start from scratch. What do you think? Quick question on trains mod. You downloaded, you see the trains, but how do you see the ores in them from the map? I think it's the show wagon content icon. Do you see this in your settings? It is supposed to be on by default. If you just, it just depends on the contents of the wagons. You see how this one does not have the icon, but as soon as it takes the ore from a station, let's take a look at this one. See, it goes to a station and then it turns into ore because the ore is inside of the inventory. If you want to say it over, say go for it. I'm conflicted right now. Yeah, I wanted to both start over and continue, but like you know, for the sake of purity, and all of these things, I also kind of wanted to change the settings, right? Like the size of the oasis. Let's test a couple things then. What else would I change if I was to start over? Bam, 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 bam. So you see in these settings, because the expansion was redone, these three settings are on default. So what I would want to do for the maximum, supposedly, difficulty, we want to decrease the minimum expansion distance to 1 and increase the maximum one to 20 and increase the evolution size factor to 20, right? Also make an uncommon trains, yeah, the quality trains from the beginning. We could do that in like that existing save, of course, but yeah, it gives me more reason to start from the beginning. You know what else? You know what also? How about this? How about this? You guys think that this playthrough was too easy? I think I know what we can change. You know, like the minimum attack cost is still too small. You want to see the actual challenge? How about we change the absorption modifier by the trees and tiles. If you choose the death world, this already puts it at 50%, but I forgot to change it completely. So what if we actually reduce this to 10%? That's the minimum. Which means that the pollution cloud is going to be bigger, means bigger attacks. Actually, this is going to be hell. You guys like this? Because I was barely attacked in the early game, right? So, yeah. We could see if this is even possible, I guess. With a minimum attack cost and minimum absorption. Minimum to damage trees, 0. I don't know. This one probably doesn't matter, right? This one probably doesn't really matter. 60 is the default. What's your starting area? Let's see. So I would, yeah, I would increase the oasis size. Maybe actually to the maximum size of the oasis. Let's just see how it looks like. If I do the starting area moisture with the scale being 600%, how would this look like? Let's click play. I'm just wondering. Chart radius of 1,000. This is still going to be the oasis even over there. Right? Or is it going to be no desert? This is maybe a little bit too far. Let's do 5,000. You want to know how to have bigger preview? Oh yeah, you were telling me that there is a way to do a bigger preview. Is it like built into the game? Tell me. Can you just scale here somehow? I know that you can like pass the command line arguments to the Factorio binary to generate the map image. Can you do it inside of the game though? How? Is it in the setting, a secret keybind? Click settings with Control Alt. So like the yeah, the rest of the settings, right? And now over here you want to do preview. Maximum preview threads. Let's do 20 threads. I don't know if that's a good idea. Preview chunk side. So 200 chunks. Nice. Okay. Maybe this is too much. Is it even an oasis? Does it ever end being an oasis now? Let's see. So this one is the small oasis. 100%. Looks like this. Maybe it would end. How big do I want the oasis to be? Restarting. I'm thinking about it. The problem is like this preview is not the same zoom level as the maximum zoom level inside of the game. Also, I actually have green areas outside. So I think the bigger you make the starting area moisture, it's not just increasing the oasis size. It's doing some more stuff. That's a big area that I revealed. How big are the irons over there? 1 million. Of course. 300,000. Do 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 do. Do I wait for it to finish? Yeah, see, like, this is the maximum zoom out that I can do, and this is the preview area. This is the Oasis size, it seems. This is not a bad size. This is 200%, I think I did, right? I think I don't mind it to be 200%. It would be nice if you could increase the starting lake size so that I can, like, also see it, you know? Do we want bigger? Maybe not. 200%. Okay, what do you guys think about the other settings? What about the other planets, I guess? Or do I want anything else about Novice? About Novice, there's only like the cliffs also that I can do. But I think that the cliffs, they look bad with the maximum settings. 100% is fine. How close are the biters starting? I just use the default settings for the biters. I don't do a death world. Right? There is this is already going to be difficult enough. Was challenged with the mod everything on Novice. Yeah, I was like thinking about the everything on Novice, but I kind of like the logistics. Everything on Novice makes some things easier. At the same time, like the base itself on the other planets is basically empty. You didn't have the patch where I implemented it? I see. Did you get it from the mod portal? The mod? I published an update to support 2.1 just today. Yeah, starting area size. Oh yeah, and then we increase the minimum expression distance. This is the maximum. The cooldowns are, I think, okay. To reduce the minimum cooldown to the 1 minute. To have even more suffering in the late game. Is that a good idea? That's probably a bad idea. Let's do it. Evolution is default. Minimum absorption, minimum attack cost. Default trees, maximum diffusion. Maximum asteroids, maximum spoiling rate. Alright, what about the other planets? Everything on Novice, you say? I don't know. How does everything on Novice works with pentapods? Do the is the farming produces a regular pollution, and pentapods react to regular pollution? I don't know. I kind of I think I'm okay with planets. Like I said, I like the I like the space itself. I just wish there was more reason for me to build bigger bases on the other planets. Without sacrificing Novice. You play Space is fake, but it's easier. Yeah, I think it's easier. Because like right now I need to pay the cost of the bullets to retrieve the items from other planets, right? And if everything is on Novice, then it's a lot cheaper. I think the other planets are fine, right? If anything, we can like play for 100 hours and then restart again. Right? Okay. So the biggest change in this is going to be that the absorption of the pollution is the minimum, because even despite all of the changes that I did, it was still too easy, so we want a more difficult game. All of the pollution is going to go into the biter bases. That's what we want, right? Restarting is always fun. 100-hour speedrun, yeah. We're just looking for the perfect settings. Eventually we'll settle on the perfect settings, and it's going to be the final game where I actually finally do the mega basing and like the million SPM bases, right? Does elevation change starting X hikes? What's elevation? You mean novice elevation, this one, and through the lakes elevation? I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter. This might probably change the shape of the cliffs, I guess, right? Elevation means that the cliffs are different. Or are they not even different anyway? I think it's all the same. Alright, guys. How about then I'll need to roll for a seed too, I guess. But I'm just going to restart the stream. Maybe I'm just going to go get a food break, and then I'll restart the stream after with the new run. What do we call this? I don't Right now I just have the ramping signs. Do I call it anything else? Doo-doo-doo. 0.1x pollution absorption. So it's not min-max expansion group size, right? What is this setting called? Maximum expansion difficulty. Minimum distance 1. Maximum distance 20. Evolution. Size factor 20. There we go. Sounds good. And the final goal now is not the Prometheum Science Pack, because that's no longer the end of the game. The end of the game now is the Solar System Edge. Right? Do you think it's impossible with minimum attack cost and minimum absorption modifier? I don't know. We'll have to see. Once again, I'm just going to go take a food break and I'm going to restart in like half an hour maybe. All right. See you in a bit. Sorry for restarting those people who wanted to see me continue. But restarting is fun, right? Right? Okay.